Met Your Mother is one of the most famous sitcom shows in American TV history. So how is the spinoff How I Met Your Father doing? The creators of the original show are back, and fans have been seriously excited. And today we have all the latest info on fans' reactions to the new show. Let's get right into it. First off, we've got to talk about Hillary. Fans were shocked when Hilary Duff got cast in the leading role, and as a fan of the original show herself, she's got her opinions. The star did an interview with Dateline, where she revealed that she was a little intimidated by the huge project, as the original was so loved by fans and herself. She revealed, "I've been incredibly lucky in my career to play some wonderful characters, and I'm looking forward to taking on the role of Sophie. As a huge fan of How I Met Your Mother, I'm honored and even a little nervous that Carter and Craig would trust me with the sequel of their baby. That's so sweet. It makes a show better to watch when you know that the roles actually mean something to the actors who are playing them." While we're on the topic of Hilary Duff, some fans are still sore about Lizzie McGuire. You might have heard about a reboot that was planned for Hilary's most famous show, Lizzie McGuire, that would have shown how Lizzie is doing in the present day. Fans of the original show were eager, to say the least, and then it all went wrong. According to sources, the creators of the show couldn't decide where they thought Lizzie would have ended up and what kind of direction her life would have taken. Unable to settle on an idea, the project was canceled. Too bad fans' hearts were already broken. Some people got mad that Hillary was going to take on this new role before the Lizzie McGuire thing got sorted out. Another Twitter user voiced the change in projects between the two and instead reached a compromise. Instead of being sad that Lizzie McGuire didn't happen, he instead suggested that How I Met Your Father is a continuation of sorts. He tweeted that everyone should unite in agreement that How I Met Your Father is going to be the extended version of Lizzie McGuire that everyone's been waiting for, and he's not going to be taking any other explanation. If this makes fans feel better, we can't blame them. Lots of fans are super excited about seeing Hilary Duff in general. People definitely seem to think she's going to nail the role. Even people who weren't necessarily massive fans of the original show are excited to watch this continuation. This is largely due to the presence of Hilary Duff, who's proven to be extremely popular. Hashtags on Twitter for both How I Met Your Father, How I Met Your Mother, and Hilary Duff are all swarmed with posts about how amazing she's going to be. Just a handful of these tweets say things like how they can't wait to watch it and demanding lots of seasons from Hulu. One user even suggested that Hulu make 80 whole seasons to satisfy what they want. Another user remembers how there was a speculated version of How I Met Your Father years ago that was said to star Greta Gerwig. They thought that Greta would have made a wonderful leading woman, but were equally convinced that we never got the Lizzie McGuire revival at Hulu, but Hilary Duff still won. February 28, 2020, Duff urges Disney to move Lizzie McGuire's revival to Hulu. June 22, 2020, Hulu denies talks. December 16, 2020, Lizzie McGuire revival canceled. April 21, 2021, Hilary Duff to star in Hulu's How I Met Your Mother sequel. These are literally only just a few of the tweets out there. After her incredible music career in the late 1990s and early 2000s, also not forgetting her major acting career, it's no surprise that the target audience for this series, millennials, are very excited about seeing her again. Not only has the early 2000s fashion come back around again, but so has all the other things we loved so much. Not only is Hilary Duff taking the leading role, but she's also going to be a producer on the show. She obviously made an incredible impression at Hulu, and we predict that this is going to be another successful venture for the star. She's had an incredible career that's lasted well over 20 years now, but unlike a lot of other actors and actresses who became celebrities at a young age, she hasn't gone through any kind of controversy or problems with the law. She's incredibly well liked, and her fan base is very strong and loyal. Other people aren't so sure. Maybe even the incredible talents of Hilary Duff can't make this amazing. Some of this doubt is due to how the original show How I Met Your Mother dealt with the ending. Some fans of the show who stuck with it for a long time, all 9 seasons, still are not over the fact that they don't like how it ended. Fans even made a petition to have that ending ending changed, as people felt it was too sad and didn't sit right with the story. One user took to Twitter to say how they could not believe that the series was getting a sequel after the tragedy that was the ending to How I Met Your Mother. It's clear that the ending is just painful in some people's memories. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if people ever feel better about it. Maybe in a few more years? Yeah, we aren't sure either. Critics for publications have also weighed in, chiming in with their opinions. Word Reporter published a piece from their critic Angie Hahn. She wasn't massively impressed, it seemed, summing up her feelings by saying, "It feels so far like a pale imitation." She described how the original How I Met Your Mother, when it premiered back in 2005, was refreshing to fans who had enjoyed long-running sitcoms like Friends. The characters were great, the stories were believable and relatable, but when it comes to the new sequel, Angie had a different opinion. Another critic, Adrian Houghton, who writes for The Guardian, can't seem to make up his mind about how he feels about the show. On one hand, he praises Hilary Duff's performance, saying that the charm that this sequel has is due to Hilary Duff's performance. Her ability to be so good on screen is what makes the show good, and without her, it wouldn't have the same feel. Praise, right? He then followed up this by saying that the only reason you would watch this show in the first place is because you liked the original How I Met Your Mother, and suggests that it does not offer anything else. Jennifer Keishan Armstrong, who wrote a piece for The Wrap, was much more obviously harsh with her words. Armstrong made her point very clearly, saying, "Some lines sound literally like jokes rejected from the original run of How I Met Your Mother. The lines are underscored by a laugh track that thinks the show is funnier than it is." Wow, that is super critical. Surely it can't be that bad. Fans who tuned in to watch the first few episodes didn't seem to hate it as much as the critics did. Some people who actually watch TV for fun, rather than people who do it for a living, were a lot kinder to How I Met Your Father. Obviously, people love to put their opinions on Twitter, so that means we have plenty to choose from. One Twitter user we saw said that she didn't hate How I Met Your Father, but she actually liked it, and she really hoped that she didn't feel the same disappointment in this new series as she felt at the end of the original. But the cautious optimism doesn't stop there. People definitely seem to be worried about getting too emotionally involved in the show after how they felt about the ending of the original. But despite this, people definitely seem to be giving it a decent chance. Another fan said that it seemed cliche, but that she really enjoyed the first 2 episodes so far. Some more praise from Twitter fans is about how even fans who love How I Met Your Mother are prepared to give this a chance, despite the original show being held in such high regard in their heads. Even though fans can accept that the show has flaws, they still love it. Others thought that they wouldn't like the reboot, but have found themselves enjoying it anyway. People have already decided on their favorite ships and couples. Have you seen How I Met Your Father yet? What are your opinions about the first episodes that have been released so far? Are you hoping for a second season? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video, and see you again soon.